Hello and welcome to Mzansi Star Wars Recap. I am back yet again reviewing one of your Mzansi favorite soapies. And in this video, we are reviewing Sbongile and the Dlaminis. Now, Zindler has been having a secret admirer for the longest time. Finally, Zindler's secret admirer has decided to reveal himself to Uzinhle, and they set up a date to meet up. While Uzinhle was busy panicking to finally meet her secret admirer, Mkhize actually came out, and Uzinhle is being dismissive, asking Mkhize if Mkhize have seen her secret admirer. Unfortunately, Mkhize revealed that he himself is the secret admirer. He does say that he has liked Uzinhle for the longest time. Of course, Uzinhle get disappointed in finding out that the person that has been making her nails for the past few days is actually Mkhize, someone who she knows. She then asked Mkhize questions about herself, and also Mkhize does say that he just wants to marry Uzinhle. Zinhle asked what color does she loves. Mkhize knows that it's pink, and what food does Zinhle likes. Mkhize knows that it's mint and spaghetti. And also, the final question was what kind of work does Uzinhle do? Mkhize answered that it is a house executive. Zintle's heart melted, even though she does express that she did not expect Mkhize to be the secret admirer, but Mkhize does say that he himself has liked Uzinhle from the first day that they met. So Mkhize then asked Uzinhle to give their thinking a chance. Now let's move on to Ukwenzo and Sbongile. Ukwenzo and Sbongile have finally moved in together. Oh, I don't know how I feel about Ukwenzo and Sbongile's relationship. Honestly speaking, I honestly feel like they did Unomalanga dirty. Nomalanga did not deserve any of it. Honestly, if Ukwenzo has fallen out of love with Unomalanga and now is in love with Sbongile, I mean, for me, there was or there could have been a way that they could have done things. Especially Ukwenzo could have maybe try and find a way to break things off with Unomalanga without really humiliating Unomalanga the way that he has humiliated Unomalanga. Anyway, what I can say is that Ukwenzo has finally grown some balls and managed to stand up for himself to his parents and boldly choose Sbongile. Sbongile was once shy, young, and naive, but to snatch someone's man like that and move in with him, for me, I mean, I'm not convinced, honestly. I'm not looking at Sbongile as an innocent girl that you all look at Sbongile. I mean, it's wrong, okay, to snatch someone's man the way that Sbongile has done. It's something that is totally wrong. It goes against anyone's morally. So now that they are together, Ukwenzo is telling Sbongile that they need to cut off the family and they need to focus on each other. While they were still talking, unfortunately, the call from Ukwenzo's mother get into Sbongile. I mean, Ukwenzo tries to warn Sbongile not to answer the call, but I mean, it was already too late. So therefore, Mrs. Dlamini invites Sbongile to meet up for lunch, which Sbongile tries to politely decline. However, it seems like Mrs. Dlamini insists that Sbongile should come and have lunch with her. Well, Sbongile does say that, okay, it's okay, Mrs. Dlamini. I mean, if you insist, whomst am I to turn down the offer? Of course, Ukwenzo is not happy because it seems like he knows that his parents are quite manipulative and they are most likely going to manipulate Sbongile. Sbongile does explain that she really could not have refused, especially because she kind of think that maybe there is something wrong with Ugwenzeni or that Ugwenzeni needs her help. So she says that she kind of feels obliged to go and meet up with Ugwenzo's mother. We do see Gwenzo's facial expression that Ugai is ain't happy at all. Now, in the next scene, we do see that Sbongile finally went to the Dlaminis to meet up with Mrs. Dlamini. Mrs. Dlamini honestly did not call Sbongile for anything nice at all. And this is after Mr. Dlamini and Mrs. Dlamini had like a brief argument about the fact that Mr. Dlamini just says, you know what, I am so done with Ugwenzo. I've tried my best. I've tried to reason with the boy. I've tried to be nice. I've tried to be kind. I've tried to say, let's talk things through and all that. This boy wants none of that, okay? He does not want me to reason with him and all that. So Mrs. Dlamini still insists that Mr. Dlamini Benogwenzo should maybe have a sort of a meet-up and meet together and kind of communicate, you know. But Mr. Dlamini is like, no, I'm done, okay? I am so done. I'm not having any meet-up with Ugwenzo, nothing of that nature. All I want is Ugwenzo to just, you know, be out of the contract and accept the loss. I also don't understand why is Ugwenzo fighting for the photos. I mean, he said he wants nothing to do with his family. He wants to cut them off and all that. However, he also wants the pictures or the designs or whatever. You know, if you desperately want to cut off people, you should then allow them and live in peace, okay? If they want to keep something from you, just say, okay, it's fine, keep it, but I am keeping it moving, okay? So, Mr. Dlamini then says that Mrs. Dlamini is the one who's going to meet up with Ugwenzo and try to convince Ugwenzo otherwise. I'm guessing that Mrs. Dlamini's strategy is to kind of emotionally blackmail Sbongile, because she does say here that Sbongile has changed a lot, okay? When Sbongile first came, she was shy, naive, she believed in God, she was a prayer warrior, she always pray and all that. But now things have just totally changed, okay? She no longer believes in God, or maybe the Bible is the one that is teaching her to be a man's nature, you know, to be a home wrecker, to break off other people's marriages, other people's homes, and all that. And Mrs. Dlamini also asked Uguti, she wonders if Umtandazo Sbongile actually reaches heaven, because I mean, she also quoted a verse in the Bible that says that God doesn't listen prayers from the wicked, something of that nature. Of course, you can tell that, you know, whenever they talk about God and everything, that's a soft spot for Usbosh. So, baby girl kind of feels like, you guys are now hitting a soft spot for me. That's kind of like a soft spot, okay? And then afterwards, you know, Mrs. Dlamini left Sbongile. I feel like Mrs. Dlamini is, honestly, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing with Sbongile and how she is planning to manipulate Sbongile, because I feel like Sbongile is just easily manipulated as well. She then leaves Sbongile, and Sbongile then waits for Wenzeni. Wenzeni is such a spoiled child. I guess angazi mina, you know. I honestly don't know how Sbongile honestly can stand for that child. I myself would have killed that child way back. But you all know that I don't mean it literally, okay? But anyway, Wenzeni pulls up drama and says things like, she is very angry with Sbongile. The fact that Sbongile decided to leave, and not only did Sbongile leave, and also lives with Wenzo. She says that she feels abandoned all by herself. Well, Usbongile tries to explain, but it's not like that. Honestly, I feel like Usbongile is selfish as well. I feel like a baby girl has just grown to be selfish. She has just grew into being selfish. This thing of being selfish is now her thing. Okay. And Ugwenzeni is just like, leave me. So therefore now Uswingine also, she's just been feeling so emotionally guilt of lately. And I think that was Mrs. Dlaminis' card. So she then she then prays, and say, God, please show me a sign, anything and absolutely anything. So she received a call from her father, who's been telling her shenanigans about Uvele Pikasana. Velepi's things has just really not been going so well. As much as she got the money, she misused the money, and no one could tell her anything about the money, but she was just going through trauma. And now Usipo has broken up with her, and not only has Usipo broken up with Uvelepi, I think Usipo is actually falling for Velepi's friend. Hey, I wonder how will Uvelepi take it, okay? Because I feel like Usipo, we are for like a sana, we are for like, we're catching feelings. Usipo is actually falling for Uvelepi's friend, and because Uvelepi has been treating them rude, and I know it's mostly because Uvelepi is going through the most. But I mean, Usipo Velepi, they are humans at the end of the day, They're not gonna take this thing of being treated rudely over and over again. So now it went to the scene where Mr. Dlamini has even involved lawyers between himself and Ugwenzo. Of course, Ugwenzo barged in the office, furious, ready to kill a person, and says that those are my designs, I want them. And then Mr. Sokulu says that you made those designs while you were still working for me, so which then means that all the resources that were used to design the designs were used with the Sokulu's resources. They therefore means that they belong to me. So we went to ask about Sbongile as well, says how about Sbongile's design. So Mr. Sokulu is like, ngakuthola mfana wami, ngakubamba. So all this force, this fuse, this whatever, uyenzela lento because of Sbongile. You're doing all this because of Sbongile, and starts really saying things that are really not nice, things that, it is a phase, it's gonna pass. What has she done to you? What if she did something to you? Black magic kind of things, But Ugwenzo looks really determined for fighting for Sbongile. Honestly, this is my issue with people who grew up in rich families, or rather with people who grew up having daddy and mommy to do them things, because when they then realize that they no longer agree with the way of how their parents do things, they don't agree with maybe being treated like children forever. They feel like now they are grown, they need that sense of independence, the sense of freedom, and just making their own decisions as adults. However, they still rely on daddy and mommy because they then want their money. Like, it doesn't work that way at all, honestly speaking. I feel like if you are ready to say you are an adult, you are ready to say you want to live your best life, you want maybe to disobey your parents, then make your own money. Make your own money. You don't know how to make money. You've never made money on your own. All your life you work for your parents, they make money for you. Chigi, you want independence, you want to make your own decision and all that. Okay, fine. Your parents allow you. They allow you. They're just like, okay, you know what, it's fine. You are gonna make your own, you are gonna maybe live your life the way that you see fit and all that. But still, like I've seen this in most cases, even in real life. I'm just like, but it makes no sense. You say your parents are wicked, you call your parents names, and but you still want their financial assistance. How is it possible? I feel like if you are in a state where you have realized, would say, hi man, my parents are not good people, and just be also in a state where you realize, ukuthi, you're an adult, you're an adult, your parents don't owe you to be anything. If anything, you owe yourself. Okay, you owe yourself, but your parents do not owe you anything. So Mrs. Dlamini barged in while Ugwenzo and Mr. Dlamini are arguing, and then she then asked Uguti what is the matter here. So Ugwenzo then pull up the paper that Mr. Dlamini is using to sue Ugwenzo. So Mrs. Dlamini is not pleased at all. She then does ask her husband, why is it that her husband love fighting, as is necessary for all those things. Of course, her husband says that, oh my dear, it is very much necessary because I am doing this for the family. Everything that this boy designed belongs here, okay? And Mr. Dlamini does not like understand why is it that his wife is now blaming him for all the fusion, when all in all he believes that the person who started all this drama is definitely his son Ugwenzo. I want to know, I want to know what is Mrs. Dlamini's strategy, which I've picked up Uguti. Her strategy right now, maybe her best bet right now is to blackmail emotionally, blackmail Sbongile. But then, what is then? Because I don't know what's gonna save them from this. Gwenzo, Usematandwini. Gwenzo is in love. Nothing can tell Gwenzo nothing, okay? Nothing can stop Gwenzo at nothing. Baby boy, Upagati, she. He's definitely a gone boy. This one is definitely a gone boy, and I'm just here wondering what exactly is their strategy, because definitely they need one. Even Nomalanga tried to intervene, to try to convince Usbongile Uguti, Sisi way, things may go southways for you as well. Things may go southways for you as well. Just because things went to southways for me, it does not mean that they may not go southways for you as well. Since of course you know that if Ugwenzo was able to do what he did to me, it's most likely happen that Gwenzo is going to do the same thing to Sbongile, which I know many people here will argue that Gwenzo will not do the same thing to Sbongile. But I mean, guys, Unomalanga legit did nothing to Gwenzo. Like Unomalanga akamenzanga net Gwenzo at all. However, Gwenzo felt bored, fell out of love with Unomalanga and said, oh no, I have found the love of my life, which is Sbongile. And my wife here now is, what if Ugwenzo felt out of in love with Sbongile? Because if he could fall out of love with his with Unomalanga, chances are he can fall out of love with Sbongile as well, but Sbongile is too naive to notice it. But anyway, it is what it is. Uwenzo also wants Unomalanga to stay away from Sbongile face, but I don't even want to see even 10 centimeters near Sbongile, and he soon ukukubona nkosana and make sure that he stays far away as possible from us both. So yeah, guys, and that's all that you can say on Sbongile and the Dlaminis they can win. business and they continue the family business, I think it's gonna put like some few conditions that on the conditions that they hire Sbongile as well. I would love that for Sbongile, like honestly speaking.